Okay, so we already discussed the management information systems and its learning outcome 1 last week,
Yes.
and today we will discuss be able to evaluate a management information system in an organization. We will be discussing about the performance of management and information system regarding the how assets and operations are managed. Whatever the assets and operations are performed in an MIS, then how you would need to manage, and probably that would include the equipment used for the MIS, the software used for the MIS, networks, individuals, procedures, resources. And we need to know that how an effective MIS can be and how MIS has any impact on any organizations, and what are the principles of effective information management. Yeah. Okay, so let us see. So the most important characteristic of an MIS are those that give decision makers confidence that their actions will have the desired consequences. So basically, management and information system is a computer program that stores the information about organization. For example, the inventory of any store. So using that MIS basically gives a confidence to the managers that how they want to take the action, and what are their desired consequences. For example, they know that they have a stock, then they will be able to take the decision to change the prices. If they know that they don't have stock, then maybe they might increase the prices. So overall, MIS, it is the beautification of the MIS that it helps decision makers, managers, a confidence that what they have and what they need to do according to their desired needs. Does it make a sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now it helps in relevance, accuracy, usefulness, timeliness, completeness. Let us see how. As far as the relevance is concerned, the information a manager receives from an MIS has to relate to the decisions the manager has to take. So every time MIS produces the relevant information, and it is not the case, for example, that in any manual scenario, probably the managers might face lots of information, irrelevant information. Yeah, does it make a sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So that it the characteristic is that using MIS you get the relevance, the relevant stuff. Then accuracy. A key measure of the effectiveness of an MIS is the accuracy and reliability of its information. So the information available from the MIS is always accurate. There is no any problem with the accuracy or reliability of the data as compared to the manual data. Makes sense?
Yes.
Usefulness. The information a manager receives from an MIS may be relevant and accurate, but it is only useful if it helps him with the particular decisions he or she has to make. So the information is not only accurate and relevant, but it is also useful to take some decisions. Normally, the if it was a manual information from the records, from the papers, then probably it could be irrelevant, it could be inaccurate. But when it is the uh, available, accurate, and relevant, then it becomes useful as well. Yeah.
Sure.
Timeliness, most output must be current. MIS output must be current. Management has to make decisions about the future of the organizations based on the data from the present, even when evaluating trends. So it is not only useful, but it is current as well. You get the live information about whatever the MIS is holding, because it is computerized, and you will have live, current, up to date information. There will not be any excuse that, oh, this is the old record. So is that,
I see.
yeah, makes sense?
Sure.
Yeah. Then completeness, an effective MIS presents all the most relevant and useful information for a particular decision. So everything becomes complete and becomes useful for any kind of decision very quickly, irrespective, because if it is timeliness, if it is useful, accurate, relevance, then it is complete. There is no doubt that anything would be missing or pending. Yeah.
So does it automatically choose most relevant and useful information from the database?
Say again.
Does it automatically choose the most relevant and useful information from the database?
Sorry, I'm having difficulty in catching you. You mean that it is automated, that's why it is complete, timeless, useful, accurate?
Uh, Maybe I understand.
I mean, uh, it's and can you ask your question again?
So, uh, mm, does it automatically choose the most relevant and useful information?
Uh, Obviously, uh, the information is automatic for decision making, but to take the decision is not automatic in the MIS.
Uh,
Are you
so,
talking about are you talking about taking decisions by MIS automatically?
no. Mm,
Can you type your question in the chat?
sure.
Okay, you may type if you want.
But that's not a big problem.
Question.
So,
Okay, that's fine. I
maybe
go.
we can continue.
Okay, I continue. Okay, fine. Now, performance is basically dependent on that how you manage the assets and operations. So, using MIS, the tracking and monitoring of the functional targets becomes easy. So, as far as the performance of MIS is concerned, using MIS, you are comfortable to track and monitor whatever the functional targets are within the organization. They become easy. The functional managers are informed about the progress, achievements, and shortfalls in the activity and the targets. Is that uh, clear?
Um,
Because manager will be aware of any progress within the
I see.
organization,
Yes,
any
that's
achievements.
clear.
Yeah,
Yes.
and shortfalls, whatever. Okay, and the manager is kept alert by providing certain information indicating trends in the various aspects of business. This helps in forecasting and long-term perspective planning. Yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. The manager's attention is excuse me, brought to a situation which is
Correct.
yeah. The manager's attention is brought to a situation which is expected in nature, inducing him to take an action or a decision in the matter. So basically, the MIS helps to focus on any particular matter, and it also gives an, an attention to the manager. The manager is notified about any of the matter, then it becomes easy for the manager to take any decision. So
I
the
see.
management of the MIS basically notifies to the manager automatically. Yeah, in the attention of manager. Yeah. Next, the MIS satisfies the diverse needs through variety of systems. So diverse needs are basically that any kind of need. For example, if somebody wanted the available stock, if somebody wanted the uh, used stock, yeah. So possibly there could be same thing, but could be interpreted in different ways. For example, if I ask you, you have 100 stock, then
Yes.
in one way I can ask you that how much is sold. Yeah. In other way, I could ask you that how much is left.
Ah,
Yeah. So diverse needs could be any, and MIS has the capability to inform in such a way.
I
MIS
see.
helps in strategic planning, management control, operational control, and transaction processing. So any strategy to be made and planned is helped by the MIS. Control of the management is done by the MIS. Operational control, the operations of an organization can be controlled by the MIS. The transaction processing can also be done by the MIS. Yeah, makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. The MIS helps the junior management personnel by providing the operational data for planning, scheduling, control. So MIS basically also helps the junior management personnel because the senior managers may know the organization very well, but if they are using the MIS, then the juniors will be very much uh, be benefited from the MIS. They can be provided the operational data for planning their strategies, scheduling, and control, and helps them further in decision making at the operation level to correct and out of control situations. So overall, the MIS obviously is helpful for the senior management, but it has a characteristic that a junior
Yes.
or new manager can also have a great facility to understand. Yeah,
Ah, yes, I understand.
the MIS helps the middle management in short-term planning, target setting, and controlling the business functions. So, at the junior level, at the middle management level is basically the management team which controls the basically short-term planning. Like a short-term planning is the functioning of company for a week. Functioning of a company, a factory, maybe they might be handling the production of a product, but it also helps the top level management in goal setting, strategic planning, and evolving the business plans and their implementation. So,
I
from
see.
middle management to top level management, because top level management, if the top level management is using MIS, then obviously they will be able to set up any goals for the future, create the strategies, and how they want to evolve, increase the business, and create the business plans for the future and how they will be implemented. So MIS is helpful for them as well. MIS is good for the juniors, the middle management, as well as the top level management. Yeah.
So it basically helps everyone.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. It helps in everyone, and depends that excuse me. So depends that which kind of you know the level they are, and obviously they will have the relevant information accordingly. The
Yes.
MIS plays the role of information generation, communication, problem identification, and helps in process of decision making. So overall, the there is a control of information. The information is communicated, transferred, problems are identified, and those that information after communication and identification of the process or identification of the problems, you become able to take the decisions. Yeah.
Yes. I
MIS
understand.
therefore plays a vital role in the management, administration, and operations of an organization. So overall, basically the performance is increased using the MIS.
I see.
Yeah. Now, impacts of MIS, that how MIS affects, impacts, gives an impact to the organization. So MIS plays a very important role in the organization. It creates an impact on the organization's functions, performance, and productivity. So if you are using the MIS, then functionality of the MIS is improved. Oh, sorry, the functionality of the organization is improved. Its performance also becomes improved, and as well as the productivity also increase. If you are
Uh,
not using the MIS, then probably the functionality might have problems, performance of people, performance of overall staff may be slower, the productivity of the company will obviously be slower and low. So the
yes.
one impact on the organization is functions, other is performance, third is productivity.
I see.
The impact of MIS on functions of organizations gives MIS support to management of marketing, finance, production, and personnel, and make them more efficient. So how functions, basically the functioning of organization is improved because the marketing management is facilitated, the finance department is facilitated, the production of the production and personnel is facilitated, like a production team and personnel the human resources are facilitated and they become much more efficient. Yeah.
Yes.
The tracking and monitoring of the functional targets become easy. Tracking, you can track that how is the how much production has been made, how much has to be produced, how much we can produce, how much we cannot produce, and then continuously monitoring that particular production can be easily monitored. The production can be tracked and monitored to achieve the particular targets. Yeah.
Yes.
The functional managers are informed about the progress, achievements, and shortfalls in the activity and the targets. Uh, 1 second. Probably I might need to cancel the other session and may need to finish uh, finish this
Hello?
one. Hello, 1 second. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, what I do, I cancel the other uh, session which I had scheduled. We continue with the current session and we will finish by 11 o'clock UK time. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So uh, tracking and monitoring we completed. The functional managers are informed about the progress, achievements, shortfalls in the activity and targets we are talking about. The manager is kept alert by providing certain information indicating and possible trends in the various aspects of business. This helps in forecasting and long-term perspective planning. The manager's attention is brought to a situation which is expected in nature, inducing him to take an action or a decision in the matter. Information is available in such a form that it can be used straight away by blending and analysis, saving the manager's valuable time. So all these are the impacts on the organization. Yeah.
Yes.
Now continued, MIS creates another impact in the organization which relates to the understanding of the business itself. So if you are using using MIS, then basically you can understand the business very easily. If there is any complicated business, then probably without use of MIS you can't understand very well. Makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. MIS begins with the definition of data, entity, and its attributes. It uses dictionary of data, entity, and attributes respectively designed for information generation in the organization. So basically, you are dealing with the data in the MIS. Let's say data about customers, data about production, and then you consider that data for particular entity. For example, if I say there is a product, then product could be the entity and the other attributes will be their like other information, the size of the product, the quantity of the product would be the attributes, and that data is the key element of the MIS. They use a dictionary of data, entity, and attributes. A dictionary is means that how that data is stored into the MIS. for information purpose. So basically, within the MIS, you will be dealing with entities, attributes as a data. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
1 second, can I put you on hold?
Uh, sorry, I can't hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, yeah. I had
It's alright.
yeah. So the MIS deals with entities and attributes. All the information system used in the dictionary gives a common understanding of terms and terminology in the organization, bringing clarity in the communication and a similar understanding of an event in the organization. So basically, you need to understand the data dictionary, that what are the terms used in the organization. Does it make a sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So it is about that whatever you have within the MIS, it needs to be interpreted according to the dictionary of data. Very simple. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, principles of effective information management, that how you can produce an effective information management system. Number one is recognize complexity. If you are able to recognize the complexity, then you will be producing the effective MIS. Organizations are very complex environments which deliver concrete solutions. As outlined above, there are many challenges that need to be overcome when planning and implementing information management projects. So, organizations are always complex. They have a complex environment. Everyone cannot understand very well. So, there will be many
Yes.
challenges. It is your duty that you need to understand those complexities, and then you can increase and produce the effective management in information system. If you do not recognize the complexities, then you will not be producing an effective MIS. Make sense?
Yes, that's
Okay.
true.
Focus on adoption. Focus on acceptance. Information management systems are only successful if they are actually used by staff, and it is not sufficient to supply focus on installing the software centrally. In practice, most information management systems need the active participation of staff throughout the organization. So, information management systems are only successful if they are actually used by the staff, and it is not sufficient to simply focus on installing the software centrally. So basically,
Yes.
the MIS is not just installing and giving the MIS to the staff, but it will only be effective when the staff accepts it, the adopts it, and actively uses the system. If they are not happy with the MIS, and if they don't take any active participation, then obviously you cannot produce an effective MIS. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Deliver
So
10, 10 sorry.
so it will be very critical to inform staff how to use uh, this system.
Uh, what is critical?
Uh, um, so uh, that's not a very big problem, but I just said that it will be very critical to tell the staff how to use the system.
Yeah, that's
To
true. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Obviously, there is a need of training and and once they will be trained, and then they will be able to understand. If they, for example, if they don't attend the training, then obviously they will have a difficulty. Yeah.
yes, I understand.
Okay. Deliver tangible, physical, and visible benefits. It is not enough to simply improve the management of information behind the scenes. While this will deliver real benefits, in many cases, information management projects initially focus on improving the productivity of publishers or information managers. So the
Uh,
yeah, it's a little bit, like effective management and information system should produce a kind of physical and visible benefits.
yes,
Yeah. It not only improves the kind of management that you understand that okay, the information system is being used at the back end behind the scene, but it really gives a very improved uh, results, and those projects basically give improving productivity to the managers. That's the effectiveness. uh, so that becomes an advantage that MIS produces the visible benefits. Yeah.
uh, yes, but could you give me an example of
Yeah.
visible benefit?
Yeah. Like if you understand that if you assume that at the back end, once again, till you are tangible, physical and physical. One second, yeah. That
Sure, sure.
it's not enough. Yes. This point says that because we are talking about principles for effective management and information system, you need
Yes.
to have a principle. Yeah. For example, we look at the context that you need to identify the complexity, you need to focus on the acceptance, then it advises that you need to deliver the physical and visible benefits of using the information system. It says that it is not sufficient basically that you just use the information system behind the scene. Yeah. But try to give the and assess that how you can give the actual benefits from the MIS. Make sense?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So it is not sufficient that MIS is running behind, but try to make it effective so that the productivity could be in the initial productivity of the information could be managed and enhanced. So it should have a visible benefits. Yeah.
I see.
Okay. Then prioritize according to business needs, because here we are trying to uh, produce a principle of effective management information system. So number 4 is you need to make a priority for the business needs. It can be difficult to know where to start when planning information management system. While some organizations attempt to prioritize projects according to the simplicity of the technology to be developed, this is not meaningful approach. Hence, MIS advise best way to start. So the
Yes.
yeah. So normally it is difficult that where to start. Yeah, it can be difficult to know where to start when planning an information management project. While some organizations attempt to prioritize projects according to the simplicity of the technology to be developed, this is not a meaningful approach. Hence, MIS advises best way to start. So, if MIS is used to take the good start, then you would get an effective results. Yeah.
I see.
Take a journey of 1,000 steps means think about the future use. There is no single application or project that will address and resolve all the information management problems of an organization. Where organizations look for such solutions, large and costly strategic plans are developed. Assuming the results of this strategic plan are actually delivered, they usually describe a long-term vision but give few clear directions for immediate actions. So this says that you need not to think about the short term only, but you think about long term usage and then focus on the current actions. Makes sense?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
And you need to think about the solutions for the long term usage, and also obviously you will start from the current start, but definitely think about future use, then you can produce an effective management information system. Makes sense?
Yes.
Okay. Provide strong leadership. Successful information management is about the organizational and cultural change. This can only be achieved through strong leadership. The starting point is to create a clear vision of the desired outcomes of information management strategy. This will describe how the organization will operate more than just describe how the information system themselves will work. So do not rely on the information system, but it is the responsibility of the strong leadership, whoever will be managing the information system, operating the information system by the leadership. So you need to focus that who will be managing and how that will be operated in a positive and the uh, strong leadership way. For example, if you are misusing the MIS and somebody did not really lead it, the project operations, the MIS operations, then it can be failed. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Then mitigate or reduce the risk due to the inherent complexity of the environment within organizations. There are many risks in the implementing information management solutions. At the outset of planning an information management strategy, the risk should be clearly identified. An approach must then be identified for each risk, either avoiding or mitigating the risk. So it is your responsibility If you want to produce an effective MIS, then you need to focus on reducing the risk involved in the organization. Yeah,
Yes,
communicate.
I understand.
Yeah, communicate extensively. Extensive communication from the project team and project sponsors is critical for a successful information management initiative. This communication ensures that staff have a clear understanding of the project and the benefits it will deliver. This is a prerequisite for achieving the required levels of adoption. The communication between the staff using the MIS is most important. If you cannot communicate uh, through the MIS, through the people within the MIS, then it will be a problem and you won't get an effective MIS. Make sense?
Yes, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Aim to deliver a seamless, smooth user experience. Users don't understand systems when presented with a six different information systems. For example, each containing one-sixth of what they want, they generally rely on a piece of paper instead or ask the person next to them. To educate staff in purpose and use of disparate set of information system is difficult and generally fruitless. The underlying goal should therefore be to deliver a seamless user experience, one that hides the system that the information is coming from. So the you need to provide a smooth system. They should be able to know that how and from where the information is coming. There shouldn't be the case that how the system is working. Make sense?
Yes,
Yeah. Choose the first project very carefully. The choice of the first project conducted as a part of a broader information management strategy is critical. Actions speak louder than words. The first project is the single best and perhaps only opportunity to set the organization on the right path towards better information management practices and technologies. The first project must therefore be chosen according to its ability to act as a catalyst for further organizational and cultural changes. So this point says that if you are introducing an MIS within an organization, then consider that that first experience of introducing the MIS is basically the last chance to introduce the MIS. If you are successful in introducing the MIS, then you are basically you can do it. If you will fail, then consider that the second time nobody will be able to do it properly, and probably they will be disappointed and it will become a totally disaster. So you try your best to do anything from the your all of your efforts, then and then you will be able to uh, provide a successful uh, as a first project. Yeah,
uh, yes,
like means if it is your first project within the organization, then try to put your all of the efforts very well. Makes sense?
yes, it does.
Yeah. Okay, so any other questions?
No, I don't have any other questions.
Okay, that's fine because I ask you questions, from every slide and every topic. That's why, I want to make sure that you do not skip any idea or slide. Yeah.
Maybe I should read the slides again later to understand deeper.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem. So we end this session now, and I would, see you next week. Yeah.
Sure, thank you for today's class.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much. Bye.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.